Hey everybody, happy Sunday. I hope that wherever you are and whatever you are doing, you are having an amazing weekend. It has finally stopped raining. Unless you live in the US, you may not know, but the Pacific Northwest, where I happen to live, has been the recipient of, what do they call it, the Pineapple Express this week. And so we have actually had record levels of rain here in the Pacific Northwest. I know that the city that Kate Walton Elliott lives in, much of it has been flooded. We don't have that problem because we're up high in the mountains, but we've definitely had lots and lots and lots of standing water, and that has made our chickens very frustrated indeed. Talking of chickens, looks like the chicken cage has, or the door rather, to the coop has opened and then closed again. So I'm just going to reopen it and hope that it stays there. It generally, as long as there's not any large amounts of wind, it generally just stays there, but I think it must have just blown closed. But the chickens, as you can see, they are a bit fed up because of all of the moisture. You can see how much mud there is. Their bedding inside though is nice and dry, and they've got some food, and you can see that the molting is pretty much complete, but that doesn't mean that the whole molting process is over, which, if you've seen the thumbnail for today's video, explains why I feel like I had to do something terrible. Last weekend, I had to go to the store and buy eggs. I know, I have 6 laying hens, well, 5 laying hens. I don't think Carolyn's laid in more than a year now. I have 5 laying hens and a rooster and an old hen who doesn't lay anymore. And I had to go to the store and buy eggs, and I felt like I was cheating on someone when I went to the store. I got the eggs from a local greengrocer who gets its eggs that it sells from a local free-range, humane chicken place out towards the coast. And so I did buy good quality eggs. I didn't go to buy eggs from the supermarket, where they're often from very questionable places from an ethical animal welfare point of view. But I had to buy 2 dozen eggs, and I felt like a cheat. It's nice to have eggs again. I've been back to eating, egg whites for breakfast. Tend not to have egg yolks because they are higher in cholesterol, and I'm trying to have less cholesterol in my body. I will have eggs by the time you've watched this, because I'm planning on making Scotch eggs over the weekend. And of course, they're basically boiled eggs wrapped in a casing. You can either use a vegan casing or a vegetarian casing, or you can do like sausage meat or whatever. But I'll be making those by the time you've watched this, so I will have had some egg yolks then. But anyway, sneaking out to the store, buying eggs, and then sneaking them inside like my chickens would either notice or care was the highlight of last weekend. And then it started raining, and it hasn't stopped raining since. So maybe the chickens had a part to play in that. Maybe they were somehow in cahoots with the weather gods, and either that or it was the Pineapple Express, which is the scientific answer, which I tend to go with. Anyway, chickens aside, things are doing great in the garden. The chickens have been roaming this week. As you can see, they have finally started helping me out in the garden, which is nice because I do like having some digging help. My sprouts are really starting to look like sprouts. Look, there's actual factual sprouts growing on my sprouts, which I'm very happy about. Hopefully, with any luck, these will be ready just in time for Christmas. They're a bit slow to grow, but that's okay, because over here we've got some decent sized broccoli coming up. I need to get this sprouting broccoli and take care of this, because otherwise I'll just have seeds. But I'll be eating that this weekend. There's nothing else in the garden that's growing right now. All of the beans have stopped doing bean things. I think I still have some broad beans or fava beans growing up, but I really haven't done anything else because of the amount of water that we've had. This week it's just been really terrible. Additionally, I've been working really super hard to try and get ahead before the holidays. I don't think it's much of a surprise for me to tell you this. I've been overworking a lot. I've been putting in 12, 14-hour days. My wife is working on a very, very big project for her employer right now, and she's putting in very long days, and she had to be awake at 5 a.m. this morning for a 6 a.m. meeting, and I think she's probably going to be working until 6 p.m. tonight. So we haven't done a whole lot of outside stuff. However, last weekend, and I can't show you because it's behind the door, but my wife started to put insulation into the garage, and it's already really much warmer. She found some insulation online that was being sold for about a third of the price than it normally would be, and it was basically someone who ran a business doing insulation, and very often at the end of jobs they would have leftover bits and bobs, and they'd been keeping them and putting them in a storage unit, and then they decided to sell them all. So we've got R38 in the roof of the garage, and then I think she's got some various other insulative stuff to put in, and then we'll put drywall on, and then hopefully the garage will become a really usable workshop for her over future winters. I don't think she's going to do a whole lot until the end of winter, but then obviously next winter she'll be able to work in there in the winter when it's super cold without having to worry too much about the incredible energy costs that it actually takes up to keep that room warm at the moment because it doesn't have any insulation. Talking of which, she also has a plan of putting a window right here, somewhere in this vicinity, and that window will then put a window AC unit in that we've had from before these AC units went in, and that will be used to provide cooling to that shop in the summer. So she'll have cooling in the summer and she'll have heating in the winter, and hopefully it will become a lot nicer place to work long term. As you can see, and although this is not chicken and garden update, we have still got the truck parked there, and if you haven't seen the video on why that is, go onto the main channel and watch that because it's very, very interesting. Don't have anything else really super important to report this week. We did have our pest control people over. Obviously, if you have animals, especially things like chickens, you do, certainly if you live in the country, there's a possibility that you'll end up with vermin. And in our case, it's mice primarily, but they came by this week and they said, yeah, there's been some heavy feeding outside, and I noticed some young mice running around, most of which the chickens ate and caught. So it's really important for us to have good pest control. So they took care of that. They use natural pesticides, as far as I'm aware. That's what I seem to recall when we hired them. And so the impact on the natural environment is reasonably small. So that's everything that's been going on here this week at the house. Parsnips are still providing plenty of good food. We haven't put the garlic in yet. It's now late, but we really didn't want to put it in during heavy rain. And wouldn't you know it, it's just started raining again. So I think it's time for me to say goodbye, and don't forget to check in to watch the Sunday musing, if indeed that is something you want to do. It will be going live later today. Thanks for joining me today, and if you've got thoughts, make sure you leave them below in our Discord chat room, or you can reach out to us on Mastodon. Thanks to the amazing lists of people scrolling by on your screen right now. They are some of the more than 1,500 people who help fund this channel through Patreon and YouTube. They cover our bills, pay our team, and make sure that we as a channel can remain 100% independent. If you'd like to join them and see your name listed here, just go ahead and follow the links below. There's a range of different tiers you can sign up for, from as little as $1 a month, or if you pay every year, just under $11. A huge welcome to our newest supporters. They are Patreon user 1124, Gordon Smith, Alan Williams, Tim Nicholas, Jalia Hallett, and Nathan Plowman. If you'd like to support us with a one-off donation, you'll find links below to make Ko-fi and Bitcoin donations, and we even have a good old-fashioned PO box you can reach us at. The address is linked to below. And if you're in need of some swag, you'll find our swag store in the down below as well. We've got some great content coming up, so make sure you're subscribed on PeerTube or YouTube. Again, links below, and we hope to see you again soon. We make new videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you want more, the mighty algorithm thinks you will enjoy this video, but we here at the channel also think that this one is well worth a look. Thanks for watching, see you soon, and as always, keep evolving!